like always, I have misplaced all of my box cutters. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Grant and I am continuing work on my diesel swap TJ Wrangler. And I've started getting some parts in this week, and the first thing I'm going to be installing is this set of Fox 2.0 shocks, because currently my Wrangler has none. So I have the front shocks on. I'm going to have to take a quick break on the rear shocks because I took these off so long ago that I lost the hardware, and this is the one bolt I can find for the lower shock mount. I can't find the other bolt or any of the fasteners. So I'm going to run out tomorrow morning to a hardware store to get this, and then I will figure out the rear shocks tomorrow. However, I have other things I can work on. Get this up here. It's kind of massive. But this is the next thing I'm going to be working on this evening. This is a Volant Performance Air Intake Box. And the reason why I went with this is, one, it's actually designed for my TJ Wrangler. But after looking at various other models, this will actually fit with my diesel setup, my turbo setup, and everything, so that I can plumb it very easily to the intake on my turbo. And it comes with a really good air intake filter, so I don't have to worry about destroying the impellers on my turbo or letting dust or debris into my engine as well. So I'm going to get this out of the box and work on installing it into my Wrangler. The airbox installed, though I think I'm going to have to take it off and modify it a little bit. I'm not going to do that right now. It has a pipe that comes out the bottom, which I believe is for draining water if water comes into the front section, and it's just really close to the intake on the turbo. So I might have to trim that back and modify it ever so slightly, but other than that, it fits very well with everything else that I have going on in my engine bay. So it's pretty late tonight, so I'm going to clean up and probably hit the hay, but I'll be back at this tomorrow, so I will see y'all then. Good morning, everyone. So got my coffee this morning, and I also went to my local farm supply store. And I like going there because a lot of times I can get bolts and nuts and washers and all that by weight, not by piece, and I find that just saves me a ton of money. So I got a ton of different lengths of M12 nuts and bolts. And I took the one bolt I had with me, which I now can't find. I've set it down somewhere, but it is the exact same size. So I'm going to move the camera and we're going to work on reinstalling the rear shocks onto my TJ as soon as I finish my coffee. Got the rear shocks installed, put all new hardware on it. Pretty straightforward, especially since the old shocks had already been removed. But now I'm opening another package that I just got. And this should be the bracket so I can latch my glove box onto this thing. And I have multiple pairs of box cutters, and like always, I have misplaced all of my box cutters. So, using a pick. The likelihood that I was going to find that in this shop after 4 years, slim to none. So now I need to get a Phillips screwdriver. Moving on to the next thing on my list, and I'm sure y'all have figured this out by now, but this entire video is just me finishing up all the little things. That's just what I'm working on this week. But anyway, I have this plate from GenRight. I'm going to be using this to mount my transmission controller here when it gets back, and I'm also going to end up mounting my GMRS radio as well. So it's all here in a central location. Now, this doesn't quite fit. I don't know why, but I have marked it on where I need to cut it to make it fit. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Alright everyone, after verifying that this piece fit, I went ahead and painted it. Now, I debated painting it black, but I already have so much black on this Jeep that I painted it. It's actually the exact same color as my dashboard. I'm going to be doing a quick test fit. See how it looks. There we go. Yeah, I think that's going to look really good. And like I said, I'm going to be cutting out a spot here for my transmission controller, and I'm going to get some extensions and whatnot for my GMRS radio as well for here. So I'll have my transmission and my radio here, and that should all work really nicely. I'm not really going to be running any kind of stereo system in this Jeep, though I am looking into a couple of, what are they called? They're called headless Bluetooth receivers, so I can still use all the speakers in the Jeep, and I can just connect my phone to the speakers. I don't need an AM, FM radio or any of that other jazz. So, but I haven't quite figured that out yet, which is actually why I am leaving the factory speakers in for the moment. But that's looking good, and we'll work on cutting this out next time once I get the Quick 6 back from US Shift. Hey everyone, so it's been about 2 days since I last looked at everything. Kind of got sidetracked with other things going on in my life. There are two things I kind of want to accomplish this evening. I'm going to see if I have the tools here to easily cut the hole in this aluminum plate so I can mount my Quick 6. I'm not sure I do. I know I can at least go ahead and punch out the two holes and drill those two holes. That gives me a starting point for everything else I'm going to do. So that will at least be done. The next thing I want to figure out is wiring up the neutral safety switch on my shifter. I have had times in the past where, and I say the past, this was when I still had the Kubota in here, where I went to start it and it was in gear and it just kind of started slowly rolling forward, and I, quickly turned it off. But I should have wired this up a long time ago. Now, the way everyone recommends doing it from what I've read is you just intercept the wire going to the starter, hook a simple 4-pin relay to it. You use this as the ground, so when it grounds, it will work and you're good to go. I have almost finished wrapping up all the wiring that's going in and out of my firewall, so I kind of don't want to do that. So what I want to investigate this evening is I have a huge wiring diagram of my TJ on my computer, and I want to see if I can intercept the wire that's going from my ignition key that's in my dashboard, so I don't have to go out to the starter itself. I can have the relay inside and have it all contained inside my dashboard. So I'm going to spend the next little while doing that. If I can figure that out, then I'll come back to the quick 6. So I think I figured out how I'm going to do this. It's a little bit complicated because I also need a 12 volt source to the relay. I'm putting the relay in between this pink and orange wire. It's a pink wire with an orange strip. So I'm going to have to put the relay in between these two wires. And what's going to trigger the relay, other than the key being turned, is the shifter being either in park or neutral. If it's in drive, it won't allow it to run. If it's in reverse, it won't allow it, sorry, not to run, not to start. See if this worked. Helps if you have your probes pushed into your multimeter all the way. So let's try this again. Okay. Okay, that is neutral. Or no, sorry, that's reverse. No power. Neutral. Power. Drive. Nothing. Drive 2. Nothing. Manual mode. Nothing. Woohoo! So taking a break from working on my Wrangler swap because I need to do some quick maintenance on my Commander. I know I haven't really shown it since I got the new engine in it. I have just finished the whole break-in period, which was 3 different oil changes. But now the brakes are squealing really bad. This happened very suddenly over the weekend. So there's finally a break in the weather. Weather's been a little bit crazy here. My shop is full of projects, so I can't pull into the shop. So I'm going to be doing one wheel at a time and replacing the brake pads. I'm just pad slapping it. The rotors look pretty good, and I'll probably go ahead and replace the rotors the next time I do this. So I'm going to get to work. I can't find my brake caliper tool. I know I have one, so 2 C clamps and a piece of metal is working great. I'm not going to film the rest of this, but I'm going to spend the next hour or so doing all the other brakes. So once I get this done, I'll head back inside and start working on my Wrangler again. See ya! Alright everyone, I got all the brake pads replaced on my Commander and it stops so much better. So I'm glad I got that done today. But now I'm turning my focus back onto my Wrangler and I want to really figure out this quick 6 tonight. I want to see if I can't go ahead and get it mounted, but I realized I still haven't mounted this plate to the dashboard itself. So what I'm first going to do is remove this piece, figure out how I'm mounting this to the dashboard, get it mounted in place, then put this piece back on, this piece being the black piece. Then I'll mark this, drill 2 holes, take this piece off, take this piece out, trace the outline of this on this piece, and then see if I can't figure out a clever way to cut it, and then we'll try mounting it. That's if everything goes well. Alright everyone, it's a windy day, my shop is full, and I've been finding a bad power steering pump on my Commander now for a couple of weeks. And I finally was able to get one in, so that's what I'm going to be working on today, in this extremely windy weather. Alright everyone, I have the power steering pump out now. I've got a power steering pulley remover kit. That's a tongue twister, so I can remove the pulley and install the new pump. And I'm going to go ahead and say now, I like the Hemi, I like the power it has. I still maintain I really dislike working on V engines. This is why I'm an inline guy. This is a pain. But anyway, back to work. Now 3 hours into trying to replace a power steering pump. So here's what's going on. I could not get the line to go into this fitting that came on my new pump, which I specifically ordered for a 2006 Jeep Commander with a Hemi, and it doesn't fit. So I finally took it off and realized these things are completely different. These fittings are completely different. It's why I can't get the line up in here. So I'm just replacing the fittings and hoping everything else on the pump is compatible. If not, I'll take it all apart again, because why not? Once I got that fitting changed, surprisingly, this went back together very easily. So I'm now going to turn the Jeep on and see how it sounds. Probably going to move the steering back and forth. I've lost a lot of fluid. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to still put more in it, but I want to see if I have my power steering back, because if I don't, then there's something else wrong that I'm going to have to troubleshoot. Well, I don't like it that it's squealing. but it could also just be air in the system. Well, the power steering is infinitely better, so what I'm going to do real quick is reassemble the rest of this and then take it on a drive and see how it does. I don't like it that it's making noise, but hopefully it will quiet down as it purges itself of air. Alright everyone, it's been a crazy couple of days, but as y'all know, I got this new turbo. It has a different flange, and I finally got a package from the United Kingdom. And I'm hoping this is the right flange. And I will say, I still have not taken apart the turbo to see what went wrong. It's actually still mounted on the motor. Alright. So, got a gasket. This looks way too big. I don't think this is going to fit. You know what? I'll be able to make this fit. So I'm going to be able to make this work. I'm not exactly sure which method I'm going to go with. I have a couple ideas in my head, but I'm going to worry about that next time. I realize this video has been a little bit oddball. I've had to work on several other things, and I've just been waiting on parts, which finally came today. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.